Brady, I've never been to this place. Winchester Speedway is where we're at right now. Historic landmark. This place means a lot to a lot of people in the sport.
Yeah, it's played an important role not only in open wheel racing, but also the Winchester 400 for late models. So that's one of those unique tracks that has that crossover that means a lot to the two different sections of the sport. It started in the teens, obviously not in its current form, but Mr. Funk actually started Winchester Speedway and has been through several kind of reincarnations until it got to its kind of current legendary status as the world's fastest half mile, super high banked. A lot of legendary people in the sport have won here, and a lot of legendary people in the sport have not won here. So it's pretty cool looking back through the stats, but it's definitely a cool place. You can feel it when you walk in. It's just, you got that little bit extra, the aura about it.
Let's take a walk around here. So this place, you're going to promote a race here. You mentioned the high banks, and we're going to see that in the corner here, but what are some of the things that make this place historic? This is actually they haven't raced a USAC Sprint Car race here in like 12 years, and it's still in the top 3, I think, of most USAC races held at a racetrack. So it used to be a staple of the schedule, 3, 4, 5 times a year, Thursday Night Thunder, all kinds of stuff. And this is a place, if you win here, you get that respect. They can't take it away from you. I was fortunate enough to win a race here, and now I live in Winchester, so it means a lot to me, and it's a cool place. I just love, people's eyes just, glow when they walk in, especially, older fans and stuff that remember coming here. It's just a special place, and it means a lot to a lot of people. Yeah. If you're a guy who just loves history and a history buff, this place obviously means a lot to you when you walk in, right? What did you win, first off, and then also you just decided after you won you were just gonna come over here and live here?
Well, not quite that simple. I won the USAC Sprint Car race here in 2008. So I was driving for Casey Kane, and we'd actually struggled on the pavement quite a bit, but then kind of started figuring some stuff out, and was able to win here and had a really good car. So this is a place where if your car's good, it's fun, but if your car's not good, it's not very pleasant to race. But I met my wife. She's standing back here watching us, and she was the trophy girl when I won at Winchester.
Oh, really?
And met her, got her number after Victory Lane, and started dating. She actually moved to Oklahoma for several years, and then we decided to get back into USAC Sprint Car racing with the Hoffmans, and Indiana's obviously where you got to live, and so we decided to come move back to her hometown of Winchester.
So if your car's not right, I can definitely tell where it would get a little sketchy, getting along this wall, and there's no fence, right?
No fence, no.
At all around the whole thing?
Yeah, no, but they do have, it's all built up on, on the other side of the fence, so if you do go over, it's not a very...
That's actually probably better.
Yeah, it's not a very far fall. The other side's maybe not quite as ideal, but with pavement, it's a little harder, for that to happen.
Yeah. And Silver Crown cars are bigger, and they stay on the track. It seems like the Crown cars are probably the more stylistic race cars to race here, I would say.
Yeah, sprint cars were always good, but there are obviously not that many sprint cars anymore, but there's a ton of Silver Crown cars, and the field keeps getting bigger and bigger every year, and actually the Silver Crown cars are within a few tenths of what the sprint cars used to run here. So I think the sprint cars got in the 12s. Tracy Hines set the track record. I think it's a 12.9, but if I remember correctly, Cody Swanson was quick time here last year with like a 13.4. So they're hauling the mail around here, and that's another cool thing about Winchester is it's just fun to just watch cars go around here. They're going so fast and they're so loud. It's just neat to watch them. And obviously up here on the banks, we actually would have to, when we race sprint cars here, we would have to strengthen our steering components because we came here to test, and there's a picture of me. My hands are locked to the left, but my wheels are straight because there's so much G-force with the banking that everything flexes so much. We had to put plates to strengthen the steering mounts inside the car, and bigger drag links, tie rods, stuff like that to make sure that when you're turning, it's actually turning.
So many iconic races happened here. So many of the biggest names even went on to win 8500s from this place. Just starting in the early 1900s and then, to what it is today, still being active is pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure. this, like I said, this was a place that everyone kind of put on their list if they wanted to win here. It's just a special place. It means a lot. And like I said, you know, you got Mark Martin, Rusty Wallace, even as recent as Chase Elliott won a Winchester 400 here, and you know, Jeff Gordon's won here, Ryan Newman's won here, and it's just got a lot of history to it, and it's pretty much the who's who, the people that were good here. Yeah, we used to sled here. We would come in here and sled in the wintertime. We would have to, you know, it would be snow on the track, and you have to go back to the straightaway to climb up because it's too steep. You can't make it back up with snow on it.
That's even way higher than where we were.
Yeah, this is the highest point here. Made some repairs to the walls.
It's like the Talladega short tracks or something.
Yeah, it's pretty neat. The wall's kind of unique here too because it's actually like 90 degrees to the track. It's not 90 degrees to the earth. So it was a pretty. I've heard stories about, you know, the repaving and stuff on this, and they had to build special rigging, and they'd have a tractor in the infield with a boom to hold the paver truck on the racetrack so it wouldn't flip.
You said there's a story about a chair being back here. What's the story?
Yeah, there's back in one of these trees. We're going to try to find it here today. There used to be an orphanage. Orphans home right here next door, in the property next door, and some of the kids would come over here and sneak to the back straightaway and climb the trees and watch the races. And one of them put a chair in one of these trees, and that chair is still there, and the tree's kind of grown up around it. So I think from what I understand, it was probably done in the 40s or 50s, 60s, somewhere in there. The kids always used to climb the trees back here, and I think they had to make them stop eventually because they used to send a couple out of this place. Thankfully, we don't really do that very much anymore, but we'll try to find this tree and get some shots of it. But it's just one of the, you know, another cool story, a place that's been here this long. It's just the stories add up pretty quick. Oh, there it is, this black little metal chair.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Block the sun here.
How would you get up there? Climb it? The tree, I guess?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that tree probably wasn't that big when they put that chair in there. So, and that thing's been up there for, you know, 50 plus years. So, I don't know. It's pretty close to the racetrack. We can cut back across if you don't want to walk all the way around. We took our engagement pictures on the banks over here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Where at?
Just on the banks over there. That was just part of our engagement pictures. We took some normal ones, and then we came out here and had to take some at Winchester Speedway.
So your race is on July 20th. What day is that before Indiana Sprint Week?
That is Thursday, and Indiana Sprint Week starts on Friday, the 21st.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So you could come camp that whole thing and start with your
Yeah,
race.
we got free camping here. Encourage people to come check it out.
Cody Swanson, winner last year. The year before that, Justin Grant. This is your third year promoting this event. What has the event meant to you and your wife to be able to do this? Now, this is her home track, obviously, but to be able to do this with a series that you love, not only with USAC, but also a track that you love.
Yeah, it means a lot, and it's the Rich Vogler Classic, which is a race that means a lot to a lot of people. His mother, Eleanor, was able to come last year, and she loved it. We like to bring some of the, Tom Bigelow and Dave Darlin, Jack Hewitt were all here signing autographs last year, so we try to incorporate kind of the history of the place into the event and kind of meet, the new world meets the old world and make it as enjoyable for everybody as we can, and we just try to add a little something to it every year. And it's just a cool place. I'm glad we could bring, there was a time when it had been over 10 years since USAC was here, so glad to bring the USAC banner back to Winchester. It's definitely a place that belongs on the schedule, and it's just a super exciting place and a unique place to watch a race.